There's one company, Andy, that we trust to put our own merch out there into the world and who we firmly believe is coming on top this football season. That's elitesports.com. They support athletes directly. They make custom stuff for us and for them. So how could we not be on board?
We got friends who have bought the crew necks. I always wear my Elite Sports Squaring Around hat. Got to support the brand. Use code SQUARE at checkout for a 10% discount. Not too shabby. EliteSports.com. They support the athletes and they support us, so go support them.
Thanks for squaring.
Jakob, home field has so much new stuff, especially for March and March Madness. They came in with new jerseys, like new retro jerseys, which are super, super cool. They always have the best stuff. I bought a home field shirt a couple years ago, and it still looks brand spanking new, and I got more home field stuff on the way. I absolutely cannot get enough of home field apparel.
If you're a NASCAR fan, actually, they have some throwback gear on their site too right now. So tap in, home field. If you want to support the show, use code SQUARE at checkout. You get 15% off if you're a first-time orderer, or you get 10% off if this is your, if you're just a home field addict. That's code SQUARE at checkout. What is up, everybody? If you hate me, this is not the episode for you. I'm sorry. This is like 90% me on this podcast. This week, me and Zimmel, we're separated. And, he's got a lot of work stuff to do. I've got nothing else going on in my life, basically. So, the pod comes first, baby. So I knocked this one out with our boy Caeveon Patton, UFL. They played for a championship with the Birmingham Stallions. Unfortunately, came out on the wrong side of that one. But Caeveon is still our boy. So I had to sit down with him, talk about what's going on, kind of like how he thinks his whole career has been going to this point too. Because this guy's basically never had an offseason off, Went from Texas State to Indianapolis. He ends up finding a situation at the Guardians for the XFL. The XFL collapses on itself, basically. In the business world, he becomes a free agent again. San Antonio hits him up. He comes up. Well, actually, before then, Atlanta hits him up. He goes back to the NFL. Comes back. I ran into him, I think 3 or 4 times at Bobcat Stadium, then Bobcat Stadium, now UFCU Stadium. So there's a whole thing. Throughout this whole thing, also, we're talking about the nasty situation at the University of Texas and Texas A&M. So if you're a hater like us, this one's for you. Shout out Quattro Corners Cartel for holding us down. I've had such a strange week too. First of all, I went to a wedding for one of my best friends in the whole world, Diana. I was so emotional. I cried so much. And then I had Monday and Tuesday off, which never happens. I never take vacation. You guys know me. I'm on my grind, I took some days off, actually. That's kind of thrown my whole week off. But nevertheless, this damn episode comes out I guess this show comes out every damn week. So we press on, baby. Quattro Corners Cartel. Oh, subscribe to our newsletter if you want that exclusivo. We're already having a really cool thing go down. And I was part of some conversations earlier this week when I was away from work and I could focus on this podcast. But episode 100 coming up in 2 weeks. This is 97. I'm pretty sure that you're listening to right now. And then in 2 weeks after that, we're going to have a really freaking amazing guest. 98? Yeah, 98. Whatever this is. Whatever. I'll do the real count later. It'll be in the newsletter. And Morgan Davidson has another poll for us. You can vote at Squarin Pod online. That's on X. And make your voice heard. This one's all about how do you think the 12-team playoff impacts chances for G5 teams like Texas State to compete for national championships? I think a lot. Let me know what you think. 33 votes. You got 5 days left to make your voice heard. Again, shout out Morgan for that. And then we went viral? ? Helped the tweet go viral. The football team shared this video of Nash Jones catching the touchdown pass at the Rice game.
Gets the snap off just in time. Finley going to throw it back. Has his offensive lineman. Nash Jones, touchdown! Nothing like a big man TD.
you know, it was a great storyline. I just tweeted hashtag where were you when this happened? And we got so many people in the Cuatro Corners cartel showing us where they were, telling us where they were. It's been really cool scrolling through all these and seeing you all have happy, fun times. So yeah, not too late to do that too. I'll retweet you on the main. Whatever, it's a weird week for us. Zemmel's working for once in his life. I'm working for once in my life. And yeah. So hey, if you're having a bad week, at least you're not the University of Texas at Austin, who's been cursed pretty much with voodoo, with all this bad karma that's gone around. And then for sure, at least you're not a damn Aggie. So thanks for squaring.
Tired of winning the tailgate but losing the games? We can't help that. But we can tell you what the hell is up with each team and what's going on across sunny San Marcos. Texas State fans, get on your feet. You're listening to Squarin' Around with Jakob Rodriguez and Andrew Zimmel.
Coach, with respect to the difficult outcome tonight, but with the rumors circulating today about a specific job opening, what do you have to say about your future in Aggieland?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty selfish of you to ask me that question, to be honest with you. But I left my family to be the coach at Texas A&M. I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again, and that hasn't changed in my mind. That's unfair to talk about something like that. That'd be like you asking Montgomery if he's going to sign in the draft. But I understand you got to ask the question. But I gave up a big part of my life to come take this job, and I've poured every ounce of my soul in this job, and I've given this job every single ounce I can possibly give it. Let's write that.
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
Yeah, good morning. What an awesome day. Super thankful and humbled by this opportunity to be the baseball coach at the University of Texas.
Welcome to Republic of Football Podcast Network, everybody. Zim and I are back on the mics for Dave Campbell's. We got a lot to talk about, buddy.
Jakey, I've been in Austin behind enemy lines all week talking Longhorns. And let me tell you something. When you talk Longhorns for as long as I've been talking Longhorns, you appreciate some of the nuances of going to a group of 5 school. Case in point, Texas A&M loses their head baseball coach and they act like the Archduke was just shot, versus if Texas State lost their head coach.
I think I'm on A&M's side for this one. This is
I don't
nuts.
think so.
This is nuts.
Here's the thing. You're on their side because this is the most group of 5 thing to happen to a Power 5 school ever.
Well, it's the most A&M thing to happen to A&M too,
Yeah.
And it is the most Texas thing to happen. Let's just spend some money and buy this guy.
Well, not since the Helen of Troy has there been a steal this big. This is huge for the University of Texas.
Is Helen of Troy.
No. Jim Schlossnagle is the Helen of Troy because he's getting stolen. Yeah, because he's getting stolen. He's the thing that everybody wants.
He gets stolen. He kind of was like, I am very much willing to go if this is the right opportunity.
No, because here's the thing. He was willing to go 8 years ago and they didn't want him.
Helen of Troy stayed behind a wall for several years.
She was stolen. She was stole from Troy. So, look, here's the thing. I appreciate this storyline. I appreciate all of this because it's a very group of 5. Like, if this happened to Texas State, do you think anybody would cry? If GJ Kenny
lose our mind.
Well, no, like we would care, but like GJ Kenny, do you think UTSA fans would be tweeting at us being like solidarity?
No.
They would not be in solidarity.
If GJ for some reason took the head coaching job at UTSA, there would be a war on our hands down I-35.
It's just a difference in I was saying that if GJ Kenny took the Texas job, I would not love it, but I understand it. If GJ Kenny took the UTSA job, well, this is what I'm saying. A&M fans look at it like the way we look at UTSA.
There's a different tier to it, yeah.
But what they don't realize is that there is a different tier, and they are in that second tier.
But once a 2-timer, always a 2-timer. This guy did this to good old TCU
Look, hey, as Mr. TCU, let me tell you, I knew exactly what was happening.
You've had this guy on your board for a while now.
Look, when he went to the national championship, I didn't root for A&M. I was rooting for all my A&M fans. I was hoping that my friends and family who are Aggies
I was rooting
had
for
a good time.
Tennessee. Want to see
Really?
the Vols get one. Yeah.
Nah, I don't root for Tennessee in anything. Remember, they snubbed your boy.
Well,
I was learning
Texas
Rocky
State
Top.
does not make the Omaha run, does not make the regionals, not make super regionals. I got to find things to root for, and it immediately becomes the out-of-state schools because if Texas or Texas A&M win something,
Why does it matter? Why does it matter? It doesn't matter to me. There's so
I don't
many
want any other school with Texas in their name to have any sort of success.
So let me ask you: you rooted for Georgia when TCU and Georgia played the national championship?
Yep.
All right. So you talked to Caeveon Patton. You did a solo interview. That's your boy.
Pod.
How'd it go?
Yeah, well, Caeveon,
the highlights.
Speaking of Georgia, actually, because his last free agency thing was, or not free agency thing, but I guess they got picked up on a UDFA deal or whatever. Anyway, with the Falcons. So, I told him I'm really into sports memorabilia. As you know, I've been texting you different cards that I've been picking up.
Yeah.
And I got something for that ass, Bobcat fans. Barrick Neely card. That's what I'm watching right now. Aaron Brewer rookie card right now. Both you can get for under $5.
I was going to say both you can get for under $1.
One thing to watch right now. Jordan McLeod's cards, which are like college, like non-licensed stuff right now. But they're going upwards of like $40 now sometimes. TJ Finley, same thing. Unlicensed, about $20 to $30 too. The card market.
Don't buy unlicensed college cards because the money's not going to the players.
Yeah.
Wait for them to sign a deal and then buy the card.
Yeah.
Because the cards you buy, the baseball cards you buy and stuff like that from the store, Topps has a deal with the Players Association that the players get paid from that. So if you are buying unlicensed cards, you are only paying for the people who make the cards.
You're part of the problem.
Yes. 100%.
You're ruining the card market. You may create another.
Look, if McLeod wants to sign a contract with Topps or another brand and get paid for his name, image, and likeness, I will buy all of his cards. I will spend hundreds of dollars on his cards. But, if it's unlicensed, I'm not giving money to a schmuck.
But the whole thing made me want to make my own set of Texas State players who were pros, and then make my own deal like that. So
it'd be kind of cool.
But anyway, I was on eBay and I found a verified practice worn jersey from Caeveon Patton. I was like, $60, $60 online right now.
Oh, that's a have to. You got to do that.
Yeah.
You get him to sign it for you?
Maybe. He told me he would give me some Brahmas area. So he's one of my favorite dudes to run into on the sidelines at games. He's huge now. He's back to his real playing size, which is floating around 300, 295, 299 ish. He's got some opportunities coming up in the last. We didn't want to open up the floodgates for what could happen. But if this guy didn't get an opportunity, I would be very shocked.
Dave Campbell's Football Magazine. It's not out yet. They sent the copies to those subscribers already. Jake, I am so pumped for this magazine. It's going to be a great magazine. I've already seen my guy Craig Way with it. I've seen it in a couple other people's hands as well.
Why don't we get that exclusivo first?
They don't have our address. You moved. I moved. I guarantee you.
I'm on payroll with the DCTF.
I don't know what happened. But anyway, my point is the magazine is coming out. I'm really excited. Do you know what McAllen's Memorial High School's projection is for their district? Do you think that they're going to be high? Do you think they're going to be low? I think Bandera, my alma mater, has a chance to be pretty high.
I think they're going to do what they always do. They're going to make the first round of the playoffs, and that'll be it for the Mustangs.
If Bandera can get to the second or third round, it would be ginormous. And I'll tell you, if they do, Jakey, we're there. Book it.
Yeah, we've already supported my alma mater, so we got to support.
You got to support Bantucky, buddy. Lock in.
Did you end up buying Craven's book? By the way, Craven is in Europe still, and he's keeping up with all this Texas bullshit. And I'm just kind of excited I don't have to edit the Aggie War pod this week. But I mean, the Aggie War Pod is kind of on here right now because that's all I'm fucking talking about this whole week because I'm obsessed.
That's true. This is rope it in.
Welcome to the Aggie War Podcast, everybody.
They should honestly hit me up. We could do it tomorrow.
Dead ass.
Okay. Here's the interview.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Squarin Around. I'm Jakob Rodriguez. Andrew Zimmel is missing in action this week, but luckily, I got one of my favorite Bobcats subbing in for him. We're talking about some United Football League stuff. Caeveon Patton. What's up, buddy? Thanks for joining me, man.
But, man, I appreciate you having me, man. Having me.
I'll admit, too, I was a little jealous because they had you on like a media tour this whole like time that you were with the Brahmas. And I was like, man, this guy's on TV all the time. I need to get him on my podcast again. What's been like that media attention? Because I know you did some stuff like when you were in Orlando with the XFL. I think when you guys played in San Antonio, they had you out with the coach too. So has it been like more media attention, less media attention? What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Hands down, way more media attention. And, when I was with Orlando, I was a rookie. That was my first year out. I really, quote unquote, hadn't like proven myself at, at any level yet, at the professional level yet. So the media attention I kind of got late really came from how dominant I was playing on the field.
Yeah.
Probably got interviewed a couple of times after a game, or some media crew from Orlando would reach out and be like, hey, can we talk to Caeveon about that good game he had? It was kind of stuff like that. It was never really any set in stone media obligations I had to like people wanted to see me. But then when it came to me signing with San Antonio this past season, they had already told me, like the GM, Mark, man, Bridge, the death was like, hey, we're going to get you in the community a lot. We're going to use your face. We're going to help you out, promote you as a person so people can see beyond the helmet. And let me see how good of a dude you are, be in the community. And we know you're from that area. You play college ball in San Marcos. You're from Cuero. So it'd just be great for you in a whole and then the community to have a South Texas native back in his home area, playing ball. So I loved it, man. I loved it, being able to go around, and I couldn't complain, man. I was very excited that they had me do all that this season.
And it was pretty immediate too. Like it was like immediately on social media, like you were like one of the faces that they were promoting too. So that was pretty cool to see, like in real time. You mentioned like how you like had to prove yourself, like the XFL. I want to put some respect on your name. We're talking to an all XFL defensive lineman, Caeveon Patton here. So like that first year was awesome for you, and then like when we talked to you last year, I guess around the same time, but maybe not, maybe a little bit before in like May or earlier in June last year. But you like walked us through like that story of like how like people had like kind of forgotten you, or you had fallen off like some of the scouting's like report. Now, like after you have had a couple of seasons under your belt in the professional level, like what is that like? Was that like a mental switch that you had to go through yourself?
Yeah, I would say it is, man, because after you've done it back to back, you're like, man, I can do this, like, being a young guy, I've never ever doubted my ability or myself, but sometimes you start to think the other people doubt you feel me? Or do they not believe? And it's still like that, because at the end of the day, the end goal that we played the spring ball to do is to get to the league, you feel me? Be on somebody's NFL team. So you still had that thought in the back of your head, like, hey, yeah, I've been to 2 different teams training camps and made it to the end and did pretty good in those training camps, but just didn't make the cut. And it's always like, oh man, we love you, but if it was this, we'll go this route. But you always had that thought in the back of your mind, like, hey, if you really wanted me, you would keep me. You know, so that thing that drives you and just keeps you pushing. And especially when you get there and you realize, like, man, I can play here. You just gotta end up in the right spot, bro, at the right time. And that's all it is, really.
I think we talked about this a little bit last year too, but like what is that gap in like skill level between like NFL, like practice team or like first unit or like whatever in like the springtime football stuff? Like what do you think?
Man, and like I wouldn't say the gap is crazy. We're all professionals. We're just waiting for the opportunity. But then in every level of sports, you have the guys. So like you can't sit here and act like Grady Jarrett and Aaron Donald, like those type of guys, they aren't who they are. You feel me? Like those guys I love to watch and love to see play the game. Grady Jarrett's going to his 10th year as a starter in the NFL. You feel me? One of the best D tackles, in my opinion, doing it still. Aaron Donald is going to go down as one of the best to ever do it. Like, you can't knock those guys. Like, their talent, they're generational talents. There's not going to be too many more of those guys that come out here and run around. But below that, I feel like any single one of us can go out there and play the game. You got those guys that making them millions and millions of dollars, but I think after that, hey, it's the guys that taking care of their body, that's the most consistent, that are coachable, that are able to go out there and play hard. I think those are the guys that fill the league, in my opinion.
Yeah. Did you feel that same way in college? Like, would you have games where you were like, I'm the man. I could do whatever I want to these guys? Or did it take you like playing some of these games to be like, oh, yeah, no, I'm right at the same level?
Nah, yeah, man. In the college, think about it, bro. I started since I was a freshman in college. I earned my starting job, like I think like game 4 or 5 after we played ULM, and I started for the rest of my career. So by the time I left college, I had so many starts on my belt that I was confident in my ability, and my preparation, how I took care of my body, how I prepared for the game mentally, understanding, breaking down film, breaking down dudes, understanding the tendencies of what they do. So all those years of college prepared me to be a pro. And all I did was just take all the habits and I created as a college player. So when I became a pro, and I just enhanced those a little bit better and kept picking people's brains. You can't never get comfortable. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I did, man.
And before we continue with this interview, I want to say, I think I saw you in person for the last time, like November, October, something like that, like late fall. And I was like, man, Caeveon looks great. He's huge right now. You look even bigger right now. So obviously we're hitting the weights and stuff, dude. You look great.
Nah, yeah, man. I put on so last season, so when I played in the XFL, bro, I was playing because when I went to the Colts, they made me lose like 17 pounds, bro.
Oh my God.
I went 97, and they're like, hey, we want to get you down to 285 and really 280. And I was like, what? So I lost like 17 pounds when I went my rookie year. So I played last year in the XFL. My rate was fluctuating from like 280 to 275. So I did all bench at 3-tech at like 275.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but it hurt me when it came to getting opportunities after the XFL because a bunch of teams were calling and wanted to give me an opportunity to work me out. And I was being honest with them. I was telling them how much I weighed. And they're like, oh, man, if you were 295, we thought you were still 295, we'll sign you. We would have gave you a workout. And in my head, I'm like, well, damn, okay. Well, I guess. You feel me? And so that's why this offseason I made it a premium to get back up to the weight I played at in college, 295 to 300. And that's what I played this whole season at in the UFL this season, 295 to 300.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you look jacked. Right now, you look jacked too. So that's awesome, dude. But now, like postseason, I guess I don't want to spend too much time talking about the championship game with St. Louis. It is what it is. That stuff happens. It was really cool setup though, like number 1 offense, number 1 defense. And before then, for everybody who's not like huge like US or UFL football watcher, like San Antonio's team the year before in the XFL was not very good at all. Like one of the worst in the league, I think. And then this year, they're the bottom of the barrel team. And then this year they get Wade Phillips, Caeveon rolls through, and they get the band moving. So it was really cool to see. You mentioned, I guess, like taking care of your body. Like, what does it feel like postseason? Or like, what are the things that you're doing differently, or stuff like that, like postseason now, to just try to, I guess, like see what you could do in the future.
Yeah. Right now, man, week after the season, I took it slow. I was letting my body rest and recover because, like really, to be honest, I felt like I've just been going for like 2 years straight, playing football. It's never like a time that I've been able to sit back and just chill and be like, oh, let me breathe and let me just, get back right. Because when I get done or when I get released, I'm already preparing for the next thing. So it's been like 2 years of nonstop training, never off season. I'm in season, getting ready for a season, playing in the spring league twice, going to 2 training camps and getting released. So right now, just had a bunch of like nagging stuff that I had to just let my body calm down and rest. And then right now I'm taking it slow. Next couple of weeks is doing a bunch of functional movements. We call it like GPP, like general preparation phase, and getting my body just feeling good. Because at the end of the day, when I'm feel good, I can go perform. Even if it is a training camp 5 weeks from now, even though my body's feeling good, and I just got there on the whole season. As long as I'm feeling good, I can go make it happen. So that's all I'm doing right now, bro. Taking it slow, make sure my body just gets back how I need it to get back, and I go out there and pray somebody gives me opportunity again, man, and just let somebody know what I can do, because third time the charm, man. Shit.
Yeah, of course, man. And we want to see you out there too. All the Texas State fans love to cheer on. I've been super into trading cards lately and like sports memorabilia. So I was looking
Uh-huh.
at different things. I found a game or not game worn, a practice worn jersey from you from the Falcons. I got my eye on eBay right now. So yeah,
Uh,
I need to get some Brahmas gear, dude.
no, yeah, for sure. We had to give you.
Got to get all suited up. I wanted to talk about too because you were in San Antonio this past year. I feel like San Antonio has been like starved for like just any level of football, really. Like we have the gunslingers. But before then, what was it? It was like the defenders or something like that. In the USFL, maybe the other one. But like this city has like wanted like football for so long, and I feel like you could feel the same thing too. Fans were pretty good showing up around downtown at the Alamo Dome. What did you think about the whole experience?
Yeah, man, it was great. I love the San Antonio fans. Love the culture that they bring, to the Alamo Dome, the Mexican culture. I loved everything that they brought, man. I loved the thing. Like we had the second best fans in the UFL behind St. Louis. If you talking about attendance, I love playing the dome. The energy was crazy. Like we played there the last week 9, man, against Birmingham when we won and beat them when they were undefeated. We gave them their only loss of the season. The dome was like electrifying, bro. It was fun that night. And like you said, they are starved, and I think we do fill that void for them as a team, as a professional football team, and to get those people something to look for, and then to go out here and have a great season in our second season, and give all those fans something to cheer for. I think it really did spark something in San Antonio.
Yeah, for sure. There was also some like really cool storylines. I feel like the entire season too. Like off the jump, you were there. So boom, that's one for us. But also like the YouTuber destroying was the kicker for the team. And so there's a lot of like cool like little things like that. And of course, legendary head coach Wade Phillips was there too. So like what are some of your favorite memories with this team this past year?
Man, I just to be honest, it's probably one of the funnest D-line rooms I've had opportunity to be in at a professional level. And yeah, I only been out 2 years, but I mean, we really were tight. We were close, and we played for each other. And there was a bunch of hungry guys in that room. And I feel like just every day I got opportunity to walk in there and just joke around and have fun with those guys and do indie. Coach Jakob with all my guys, man. We had a good bond. We all rocked with each other, and we never. It was just fun, bro. The whole season was just fun. Energy with my guys. Like no matter what was going on outside or what politics stuff or everything was going on, I feel like when we went out there and got in that grass, we was gonna rock for each other on that defense side of the ball, D line, everything included, and that's what showed up, and that's why we were the number one defense. Like, yeah, we the last game against Birmingham, it didn't go as we wanted it. Everybody wants to win, but stuff happens. But I feel like being able to go out there and sit up with those guys 12 times, man, it was fun. Like it, I think every game day, man, I can't sit here like just point out one moment, man. I just loved everything for real, to be honest.
Just stepping up each week, hanging out with the boys. Yeah, man,
Just
that's awesome.
knowing they were gonna play 4 quarters and we're gonna try to come out with the dub, man. We did majority of the time, but we just didn't end how we wanted it to, man. It is what it is.
Yeah. No, we can talk about Coach Phillips, man. That has to be cool, just like kind of being around that level of history and that, like you talk about like football guys. That guy's a football guy for sure, verified.
Yeah, man. He definitely is, and he's one of the big reasons why I chose to go there because, like, coming off the year that I had last year, I was able to kind of pick where I wanted to go because when I went to Atlanta, nobody held my rights anymore because Orlando had got cut. It wasn't another organization no more. It was no longer an organization, so it wasn't a team. So nobody held my rights. So I was basically a free agent. So I couldn't get drafted at all or anything. Like all those drafts they were doing for the UFL, I couldn't get drafted. So it kind of worked out in my favor. I got to pick where I wanted to go. So my last two choices were Arlington or San Antonio. And at first I was hinting towards going to Arlington because, and then next day, like a boom, Bridge, that was our GM, Mark. He comes in and texts me and like, hey man, he was with Wade in Houston last year. Cause I seen Wade and him had got fired from the Houston team. They had got let go. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy, bro. And so then I seen a couple days later, they got hired. They hired them as the staff for San Antonio Brahmas. And I'm like, bro, playing for Wade would be live. And then like when I seen that post, like 2 days later, Mark reached out, and Mark was like, I don't think it was probably like the next day. Mark reached out and was like, hey man, you planning on playing the spring league? I said, hell yeah. And he was like, man, we want you. And so it's kind of like a relationship we built over like the next month, because they couldn't sign me till, I think, was it like January, late January. And then I like, man, ain't no way I'm not going to play for Wade Phillips. Knowing where's he from, bro. Think about it. His dad owns a ranch right there in Goliad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Wade's a Texas native, Orange, Texas, like Houston Oilers, like Houston, Texas, like, man, coach is some of the best D linemen ever played the game, Like I couldn't say no to that. And then getting there, and then and like my first time ever meeting them, man, there was that meet and greet at the Alamo Dome. I came up there, me and Corey Mayfield and my fiance, we all went, and then we like shook hands and everything. The first time I ever met him in person, and he looked at me and like, man, this is what they supposed to look like right here. And bro, hearing that from a legend like that, like telling me he's been coaching the defensive line position for years, for him to tell me that's like I'm who they supposed to look like, man, I was crunk. I couldn't. And season with him, bro, and then him always being positive to me, no matter how things were going or my body getting beat up, or always saying he's a stud, man. He's a generational talent, man. He's a great dude, man. Like I love Wade, bro. That's my dude, man.
That's awesome, man. So you're saying me and Wade Phillips got the same eye for talent, pretty much. Nah, when I think of Texas football, honestly, like Wade Phillips, you can't. I couldn't even imagine saying like 4 or 5 names before him. Like that's one of the guys. You think about Texas football. That's really
Yep.
cool, though, dude. Dang. Yeah, I can't even imagine. I wish somebody would say that guy is what we're supposed to look like over here as athletes for me. But I'm 5'7", 170 pounds on a good day. Yeah. Are you 25? Is this right? Are you 25 on here? That's
Uh,
crazy. You make me feel old. I'm 26, but no. No, we're close, dude.
uh,
That's crazy. But when you break down your career, like what you were saying, like you go to Indy, get cut, go to Orlando, have the year that you did, go to Atlanta, come back. Man, your body's all jacked, probably. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
yeah, yeah, been rolling, man.
Been rolling, dude. Shit. On top of all that, too, you're also like training kids and trying to set them up for success too in whatever sport that they're choosing to do. How's stuff like that been going since because that was like what you wanted to do post grad too, right? That's what you've always wanted to do.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing, man, and it's definitely taking off now, man. All the kids that have and their parents that have believed in me and allowed me to set the foundation. You feel me, for me and my fiance, because she's a part of this too. Like the future we have for ourselves and building our facility in the future, it's just taking off. All those kids that help set the foundation, man, they're getting better. They're about to go to college. I have my cousins and my kids in college that I've been working with since 2020. They're doing good in college right now. My cousin Tyson played running back. He went on and walked on to West Texas A&M last year, and he earned a scholarship as a walk-on running back within a year. So man, I got another one. Kyle, he ended up going to Seguin, but he ended up transferring in the transfer portal. So right now he's waiting. Sean Burks went to UTPB, plays a linebacker. Man, I got so many of them. Got two of my high school girls that play softball. One of them is a home run queen. She broke the home run record I think in 2023, and she's going to Abilene to play ball, McMurray. Then I got another one going to Coastal Bend. Another one, she's going to be a senior. She's committed to Sol Ross right now. And I got a lot of my younger kids that are in college and high school. A lot of my young kids. I got a bunch of young kids, man. So I work with close to about 35 kids a week now. And just trying to pass on knowledge, man, and get them the tools and everything that I didn't have at that age, and just get them a head start, and just trying to be the best person, which is going to also eventually make them the best athlete, because all those good people and all those characteristics to be a good person, 9 times out of 10, they always carry over to be a great athlete. You feel me? So nah, man, I love what I do. I can't complain. I got the best 2 jobs in the world, bro. I get to work with all the kids and look up to me and want to absorb all the knowledge that I've learned and got from all the years. And I get to play the game that I've been chasing my whole life, So I can't complain, bro.
That's awesome, dude. Let's talk about the Bobcats. Obviously, they had a crazy season this past year, looking to do even more. Like, I think everybody has said they want to win a Sun Belt Conference championship. They want to like compete for that ultimate prize, even get into the college football playoff. What did you see from the team last year, and maybe what are some things that you're looking forward to this year?
Nah, man, I love watching the team play, man. It was great watching the quarterback throw the ball around, the defense fly around, man, and play defense. And like I always said, man, I think GJ came in and he was just that cherry on top when it came for the Bobcats. I feel like the guys before him, Everett Withers, Jake Spavital, all those head coaches, they laid the foundation and they helped build this great Sunday. You feel me? And then GJ came in and just had the final touch and put it all together. He made it happen and took these guys to go win, and had a great season. Had a bunch of great athletes. And a bunch of those guys got opportunities. They got workouts. They got shots. And when you win, you get opportunities. And then I had a bunch of dudes come out to the pro day, and it's just that effect that he has. He's a quarterback in the NFL, has a ton of connections, and that's great for the kids. That's great for the recruiting process, man, to go out there and get more kids. And I seen they're up and putting more money and investing in everybody to build a better training room, better weight room there. And even this past off season, they got new racks and more equipment to make the kids better, make the athletes better in the off season. Like I just on there. I'm a diehard Bobcat through and through. And to see those guys go out there and win, I felt like I was winning too. Because a bunch of the kids that was on that team, they were there. They were some of the guys that I hosted and I recruited when I was a junior and they were freshmen. Like telling them, like, you come here, man, we're gonna win. Man, I'm telling you, we changing the program. It's changing, I'm telling you. But then I ended up leaving. I never won. But to see them come in and finally get the win, I felt like I won, watching those guys smoke the cigars after the bowl game, man. It was live, man.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, no, I felt this entire year for me was such a trip. I was like, how is this? I think I saw us win like 3 games ever in Bobcat Stadium the entire time I was there. And that's 4 years. So just seeing that like realized success is like crazy. And then I went up to you like several times and I was like, what are all these people doing on the sidelines? Like it was packed always 24/7. So it was awesome.
Right.
Yeah. But you're one of my favorite people to run into in San Marcos, Savion. So
I appreciate it. I appreciate that.
Are we missing anything? What else do you think? You want to get anything else off your chest? What do you want to say to the people, man?
Man, I just want to tell them, man, just stay patient, stay positive, man, and stay persistent, man. That's it. And everything else take care of itself, bro. Put God first, man.
Put God first. Oh, I got one for you for your workout kids. Patton products. Boom. There you go. Or products of Patton. Something like that. There's something there. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
That's cool.
Appreciate that, man.
I appreciate your time again, man. Good luck. I know there's some doors, there's some windows, there's some opportunities for you in the near future. I don't want to blow up the spot, but man, we're always rooting for you. So
yes, sir,
can't wait
man.
to see where you end up next, or whatever the future holds for you.
Yep, I appreciate it, Jake, man. I really do appreciate it.
Of course, man. Always great to hear from a Bobcat. Zim, I'm sorry you've been so busy lately. Is this for another week? Are you doing this another week?
Next week is the 4th of July week. I'm doing the beauty of next week's schedule. It's Monday through Wednesday. I'll be in San Antonio doing the show. I'll do it remotely, which means we can do a podcast regular scheduled programming because we usually record in the evenings. But I would say let's record Wednesday, the day before July 4th. And then we get the whole week. You know what I mean? Or do you want to do Tuesday? We could record Tuesday.
Yeah.
Give you a chance to edit Wednesday.
I think it's funny because like you're having some scheduling stuff right now. Like this is the week of the 26th as I'm looking at my calendar right now.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks, I'm doing the complete opposite. I'm going back to the night world for 1 week and 1 week only. Why would I do that? I don't know. Ask my bosses.
Yeah. I'm enjoying my time in Austin. The station is in Westlake, so I'm driving essentially through Hollywood Hills every day, which let me tell you, if this podcast ever does take off, the houses in this area are so gorgeous, dude. Like it is insane how beautiful these homes are.
I think I cursed Jim Schlossnagle and the University of Texas to infinity. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think Dish Falk is going to be like SEC destination. That's what they're trying to make it. Like,
I think that they're going to put a lot of money in it. The thing is that all the guys in Baton Rouge, because if you're going to pick an SEC school outside of the University of Texas at this point, I've liked LSU. Our boy Brendan Snow's a big LSU guy, so I keep up with what's happening in Baton Rouge more than I keep up probably any other SEC program. And those guys are giving the what to A&M because they got roped into a rivalry with Texas A&M once the Aggies joined the SEC. So it's not like a real rivalry. It's one of those, like, I guess you're the closest team. Our real rivals are Alabama, but I guess we'll make you a rival. And the guys over there have been giving A&M all of the shit in the world, which is so funny to me. But they gave a couple strays to the University of Texas, saying that Dish Flock is not exactly SEC quality field.
And they're right.
I personally don't think it's that bad.
It used to be good. Good enough for the Big 12. Good enough for the best Big 12 team ever, probably.
Yeah, probably. I do think that the artificial turf probably needs to go. I think that they need to start thinking about natural grass at the Dish. But you know what? A&M was going to put $90 million or are putting $90 million into the baseball program. I don't know if Texas wants to put $90 million. I don't think it needs $90 million of renovations. I do think 40, 45, cool 50.
Yeah,
cool 50. I think that could do some stuff. The other problem, though, and everybody who lives in Central Texas knows this, Austin cannot grow any way but up. So if you're the University of Texas, do you take the field down and start from scratch? Because you can't go out. You got to go up. I don't know what they do, but I'm glad it's not our problem. I'm glad Texas State has a beautiful stadium. They have plenty of room to grow. There's no issues.
Yeah, and if you ever just need more room, just push back the parking spots. Just eliminate all parking on campus.
So I do want to add one more thing. Alamo Audible put out a preseason podcast. And my question to you, Jakey, producer Jake, is it too early to do that?
Yeah. It's fucking not even July.
Yes, I think so too. I think
first game? August?
August, yes. Late August.
I mean, I just pre-ordered NCAA football today and got our streaming set up so we could start streaming from Squarin around headquarters.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be so awesome. You've already said you're not playing. You're not going to be a player.
The amount
out of the running already.
Well, here's the thing: the amount of time I spend doing everything else but gaming, it wouldn't make sense for me. I got a stationary bike, so if you see me looking hot, that's where the money's going is in the biking.
You mentioned Sark's calves earlier today, and I was like, well, yeah, he used to be Chunkers before. And he was putting down a lot more beers back in the day, let me tell you.
I'll say this. He snuck into the press conference a little late. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world because he looks like
Were you at Ground Zero?
No, I was doing it here. Flagship. Shout out.
My bad.
Yeah. It's a shout out.
But Mose was down there.
He was. Yeah, he was there.
I like how Texags is now the New York Times for all this. This is their biggest story to ever happen to them. And it's not that they did the actual journalism work, it's that they had the balls to ask the question at the press conference.
Yeah, right. Is Mr. Journalism, Jake. I bet you were hand in hand, arm in arm with your Texag brothers. Little do you know that you fight for
I just have my fist up in solidarity with them because I would be pissed if that happened, if a similar situation happened to us.
Here's the thing. That's a propaganda network. That's essentially being like locked.
No, it's the Taliban with a Twitter account. Yeah.
That is, they are the One Nation News of college athletics for sure. So yeah, go stand arm in arm with Texags. Salute. Good luck.
I just think they got did dirty by a fake dude,
Here's the thing. No, they didn't. They got did dirty by the fact that they are. Look, here's the thing. The gap between Texas A&M and Texas State is smaller than the gap between Texas A&M and Texas.
Of course.
That is the problem that most people don't realize, that like Texas State is closer to Tech and Texas A&M than they are to Texas.
Mm-hmm. Way closer.
So
you go to DKR in 2026 if that game even happens. I've already said it probably won't.
Do you think they're going to pay us off?
I might shit my pants if I walk into DKR.
It's going to be fun.
I got some verified haters at the University of Texas campus too, so might not be a good look for your boy.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks for scoring around, everybody. We'll see you next week.
We don't need no badges. I don't have to show you any stinking badges.
Better not come any closer.
Thanks for listening. New episodes out every Thursday. Follow the boys on Twitter. Eat 'em up. Eat 'em up.